Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy. If you are new, hi, welcome. In today's video, I am going to talk to you guys about my college experience. And the reason I'm going to talk about it is because there is a very important day that is happening in 2 days. And I just wanted to share with you guys my journey of my school years. So my 4 years in college. Okay, so I started college back in 2016. So I remember I had just turned 18, and 3 days later, I was going to start a new school. I was going to start a new chapter in my book, and I was excited but nervous at the same time. I mean, I had people that graduated high school with me that were going to be going to the same school as well. So I kind of had them to lean on because I didn't have anybody else. I didn't know anybody else in this school. So I remember I got there the first day. I was really nervous because we all had to introduce ourselves, and I was like, what am I gonna say? Like, I couldn't even get my name out. Like, I was just so nervous because I'm like, oh, I have to introduce myself. It's like starting all over again. Like, no one's gonna know you, and you start from the bottom and you work up, right? Like, that's how you build friendships, right? So I remember I was in my classes, and I thought the people were really nice and the professors were amazing at the same time. Like, they were really nice. So I remember my journey started from there. I went to class every single day. I rarely skipped classes because I was like, oh, they're gonna know if I'm there or not. Like, they're gonna come find me on campus and they'd be like, why weren't you at my class? Like, I don't know. That was just something that I never skipped. My freshman year, the first semester kept going on, and I remember, like, I thought that that was one of the hardest semesters that I have ever done. It was my first one, and I remember at the end when I finally took my finals, I came home and I was like, Mom, you know what, can we talk? And I remember I sat down and I'm like, Mom, I am happy to say that I tried college, and I'm happy to say that I did it for like my first semester, but I don't think it's right for me. I don't think that I want to go back there. Let me work for a whole year, and then I'll come back the following year. Like, I'll come back to school, like, I promise you. And at first my mom was like, no, you're gonna stay in school. Like, this is what we're gonna do. Like, you're gonna keep going forward. Like, you are not a quitter. Like, you're gonna be okay. And just for a little disclaimer, before I continue, is I'm not saying that you don't have to become someone to become great if you didn't go to school. Like, if you didn't go to college, I'm not here to judge you. You had your reasons, or the situation that you are living or lived for you not to be able to do that. And sometimes it's just your own decision that you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna do it. And that's perfectly okay. I'm no one to judge. This is just my story that I want to share with you guys, because in a way it's kind of funny now that I think about it, but in the time I was going through it, I told my parents, I was like, I don't want to go back. I remember my dad was paying for my tuition, and I told my dad, look, you can save that money, you can use it for something else. Like, I will get a job, and I will do that, and then I'll come back to school. Like, I told him, I was like, I will promise you I will come back to school. And I already had signed up for the second semester, and I was like, okay, we haven't paid for classes, so I can always drop them. Like, it's no big deal. And I remember my parents were not having it. I felt like the world was on my shoulders because I had this big decision that I'm like, if I choose to drop out, my parents are going to be one, disappointed in me in a way, or they're going to be mad at me, even though I knew they would forgive me eventually. Like, I just did not want to become a disappointment to them, and that's how I felt. It's a feeling that you all go through in a sense of way, and that's what I was going through. So I remember, I don't know what clicked my mind, but I thought long and hard, and I prayed, and I was like, Lord, I'm like, if this is the path that I am destined to take, let there be a sign. Let me feel something in my heart and in my gut, because my gut is never wrong. And my gut was always leading to continue school, and I wanted to stray from that. I remember that starting January, I was going back to campus. I did my classes, and before I knew, the year had gone by. And I remember I was like, wow, like, my first year is done. Like, I'm a sophomore. Like, my second year will begin in a couple months. So I went on. I had a job. I worked through summer. I kept in contact with some of my friends. Sophomore year came around, and those same people that were with me my freshman year had moved away, or they transferred to a different school. So I was on my own. I had known some people here and there, but I never really got close because I just stayed with my circle. My first year, I was in a history club, and I went to Boston, but I felt like it wasn't for me. I felt out of place. I didn't feel like that was something for me. So I dropped the club and I decided to go into a Phi Beta Lambda, which is a business organization, but anybody can join it. So we had people from all majors. We had criminal justice, we had arts, music, like we just had many people because it was just such a good club that we were very welcoming to anybody who wanted to join me. And that's how I felt. They were very welcoming when I joined. So I remember I probably say I remember a lot, which I'm so sorry. So it was the starting year, and I remember the first meeting happened and I joined, and I was shy because I had to introduce myself, but it was one of the best decisions of my life because to this day, the people that I met there are one of my closest friends now. We just built a clique, we had classes together, and it just went from there. So my sophomore year is when I finally felt at ease a little more because I was starting to get to know people. I wasn't relying on just me, myself, being alone. I was like, okay, like these people are going probably through the same thing as I am, so we can talk about it if we're feeling anxious or if we're just feeling down or sad, and I could talk to them. I knew that I was going to be okay because I knew these students were going through something similar to what I was going through. So just fast forwarding, my college years were amazing. They were hard. My semesters were very, very hard as you kept checking one off. You kept getting upper classes, which meant that they were getting harder. Some classes were really easy for me, and some other ones just I just felt like I was not gonna make through it, you know, like I wasn't gonna make it. And one of my classes was stats. Oh, did that class make me cry. I remember I took it online, which was one of my biggest mistakes. I should have done it in class, but I took it online and it still haunts me to this day. I'm like, oh, please, I never have to take another stats class again because one time was enough. So the years kept going, the days kept going, the semesters were just finishing one by one. And the last semester so last year, it was my senior year, my first semester, and I was just so excited because I'm like, yes, like this is my last fall semester. Like after this, I won't be coming back. Like I'm done. And it was just awesome to start, and like I clicked with my same people. We just talked to how was your summer, like what have you been up to, and we started with our classes, and we were taking capstone classes, so all our focus had to be there. I felt like I had no time at all. Like I was a full-time student, a part-time worker. I've always been a part-time worker throughout my college career, so I just had very little time to do anything besides working or like trying to do homework and stay on top of my grades because I was not about to slack, right? So I just, whenever I had free time, I literally slept or I relaxed or I started the week trying to like catch up or start ahead because you never really got done with the week, because once you got done with the assignments that were due on Sunday, you had to start on that week, start reading, start taking notes, because it did not stop. Like you were always on your toes for classes. At least my classes that I took was always like that. So we just kept going, and I remember in that class that not the class, the club, Phi Beta Lambda, we were taking a trip to New York. It was open to anybody who wanted to go. I was one of them that wanted to go because we were doing a conference over there. So that was one of the last trips that I took before I was finishing the semester. So the semester ended. I said goodbye to them. I wished them a good, happy holidays. I went to Mexico, had a good time, came back and started the last semester. And this is where it gets rocky because I was like, this is my last semester. I'm going to go all out. Like it's going to become something memorable. Well, it did, but not in the positive way. So obviously we all know that COVID happened early this year and it has not gone away. So we got about January to March on spring break. I was on campus, like I was going to classes, and then after spring break everything changed because we weren't allowed to come back for the risk of being exposed, and we wanted to just keep ourselves safe. So I finished all my classes online, which was really, really hard because when you take capstone classes, like, and you don't understand it, like, these are classes that will either determine if you will be able to graduate or not. So I was stressing out of my mind. I was trying to get my homework done. I was doing good, and I was preparing for finals or dead week or no, midterm. Anything along those lines. I just felt like I was stressing my mind out. Plus, I was still trying to work. So I became a full-time worker when I went online. So online was a full-time student, full-time worker. I was working like 30 plus hours and then trying to do homework, you know? So it was hard. And I remember I was like, okay, you got it. Like, you are almost there. You are going to make it. You are going to be fine. So with the help of God and my parents supporting me, I finished. I remember I turned in my final and I was like, I'm done. Like, this is the last thing I will ever have to do for a long time, you know, unless if I decide to go back and get my master's. But I remember I clicked it, I submitted, I was like, Mom, we're done. And I jumped for joy. And she told me, do you remember when you wanted to quit 4 years ago, when you thought that you couldn't do it? Look, you are not a quitter. You made it. Yes, you like gave it your all. I literally gave my blood, sweat, and tears for this. Like, it was hard. And then my graduation ceremony got canceled. So going through my 4 years of college, I went really fast, but it's like, I don't think you want to hear every little thing that happened, you know? That was major things. It was hard. I made friends, and to this day, I'm still really good friends with some of them. And December 12th, so in 2 days, I will be having my graduation ceremony. Originally, we were supposed to have 4 guests, but sadly now I'm going to be the only one that's going to be able to attend graduation. And it's going to be live streamed, so my parents will still be able to see me, but it's still not going to be the same because I wanted to receive my diploma and look up at them and be like, we did it. Like, your daughter did it. Like, I did it. Like, it's a huge moment. And to say, I am a college graduate. First generation on my dad's side that made it. Like, that is something that I am not going to forget ever. It still hasn't hit me that this Saturday it's going to be that. Like, it's going to be my ceremony. And I know it's just a ceremony, but to me it's everything. I worked hard for this, and just to be able to share it with my family and be like, Mom, Dad, my siblings were a big help. Like, my cousins, shout out to every time I reached out to you guys, because you guys were like, you got it, like, you got it, you're gonna be okay. I probably talked about it a long time, but we're gonna finally be able to do it. We're gonna be able to cross the stage and be like, yes, for my people, for myself, for my family, for anyone that isn't able to. I did it for all you guys. Like, I did it for you. Well, that should wrap up my college story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you are notified when I upload. Hit that like button, subscribe. It would mean the world. So like I said, in 2 days, I will be having a vlog going up about my graduation ceremony, because I'm definitely going to be recording and taking a lot of pictures for that. So I hope you enjoyed. I guess that's pretty much it. I will see you guys next time. Bye.